Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. I've got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this Hump Day edition. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Listen, if you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Listen, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real. All right, listen, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. All right, click the subscribe button. Also, click the notification button. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. All right, you get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, please don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. What's wrong with you, baby? What's wrong with you? Well, what your problem is? Here, we have a mobile app. So wherever you get your apps from, it doesn't matter whether it's iTunes or Google Play or Amazon or Walmart or Kmart, or 7-Eleven, or Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Woolworth, Venture, wherever you get them from. You go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other live shows throughout the week, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, but I'll tell you what, we give you a slew. And I mean a slew of articles thanks to my man Clarence Council III. Big up to Clarence for keeping you abreast of all articles Chicago sports related. Now, if you're watching this on our Roku channel, I like that kind of party, baby. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Come on, man. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. Yes, we do, doctor. Listen, so do us a favor, okay? Download Sports Zone Chicago's channel, our tile, right to your television. If you have a Roku device in the house, do us that favor, would you? I put it next to Netflix, Apple Plus, Prime, Max, Hulu, Disney Plus, Stars, Paramount Plus, Showtime. Put us right there smack dab in the middle of all of them. And it will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Now, if you have more than one Roku device in the house, do us a favor. Download it to all of the Roku devices you have in the house. I know one might be the kids' room where they just watch their little cartoons and Teletubbies and Barney or whatever kids watch nowadays. Just do us a favor. Just download it to that one too. All right. Now, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me. Personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. If you want to follow her on Instagram because you're an IGer and you do it just for the gram, well, just follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA_AKAI. We have a phenomenal show, but I need you to get interactive with us today. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, whether it's YouTube, whether it's our mobile app, do us a favor. Leave a question or comment on that platform. What'll happen is it'll show up here in a thread, and we'll put it up on the screen. All right, we'll put it on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show, and that's what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around, and that's you. All right, so bring them. And we want all that smoke. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks. Ain't nobody scared over here. You know what The Rock said, baby. Don't sing it. Just bring it. Just bring it, baby. It's just, come on. It's talking sports. We're not solving world hunger here. All right, we're talking sports. All right. Oh, man. Let's see who we got. The chat looks like it's jumping already. Let's see who we got in there. Levette Lee in the Mickey Ficky house. Happy hump day, mama. I love it. Thank you so much. He's like, sup, Shawn? Sup? My man, Cornelius Squalls in the Mickey Ficky house. What's up, Papa? How are you? Brian Hendren, he's in the Mickey Ficky house. Oh, he's wishing a SuperBack. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Good morning. Marshawn Walls in the house. That's what I'm talking about, baby. My man. Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior's in the house. Thank you, Papa. I appreciate it. Mr. Shorty, what you doing, Papa? That's what I'm talking about. Shorty's in the house. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Listen, I don't know a lot about a lot, but I do know this. All right. I do know this. As the show goes on, more of the usual suspects will be chiming in. That I can tell you. Look, today's show is stacked. We start early at 9:30. Bob Nightingale from USA Today is going to give us a call. We're going to talk about this whole Shohei Ohtani thing. People are pissed. No, they did nothing wrong. However, how they structured his deal is going to be a topic of conversation. It is completely legal. Wow. We're going to talk to Bob Nightingale about that at 9:30. All right. At 10 o'clock, Brad Squires from the On Tap Sports Net. We're going to talk some Bulls basketball. Bulls had a 4-game win streak. Now with a 2-game losing streak. They took on the world champs yesterday and didn't go so well for them. Didn't go so well. And this is after they did them solid. This is after they kicked out the Joker. And we're going to talk about that as well. A lot of people were pissed. The unofficial what did he say? I forgot what night it was unofficially, of course. So we're going to talk to Brett Squires, talk about this Bulls game. And then 10:30, close out the show, our man Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears Network. Man, I'm fired up. As the season. We have 4 games left. If we can win 3 out of 4. First of all, we have the ability to win all 4. Oh, we have the ability to win all 4. Can we do it? I don't know. We're going to find out. Anyway, that's it. That's the lineup, baby. Bob Nightingale at 9:30. Brad Squires at 10. Bob Nightingale talking baseball. Brad Squires, 10 o'clock, talking Bulls. Lauren Cox at 10:30 to close out the show, talking Bears. But, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Let's see, which way do we go? What do we do first? What do we do first? I know what we do first. We're gonna go straight west side. Straight west side. Where's that go? I can't believe here we go. The Bulls. The Bulls with a tough one yesterday. Man, that was tough. Disappointing more than anything. The Bulls fall to the defending champs, the Denver Nuggets, 114-106. Let me tell you, it was frustrating on so many different levels. All right, it was frustrating on a lot of different levels just because of the way it happened. All right. Kobe White led the way with 27 points, 4 boards, 8 assists. He was 5 for 10 from beyond the arc. We're going to talk about him in a second. Nikola Vucevic, the walking double-double, 26 points, 15 boards. DeMar DeRozan, he contributed 14 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. You know, the Bulls won 4 straight. Zach is out. Then they lose 2 straight. They lose to Milwaukee. I mean, it's back-to-back. But this ball movement looks better. This team, as a team, looks better. Okay? As a team. It seems like Zach already wanted to be out. All right? It seems like he wanted to be gone already. I don't know what to say, because this team looks better. Now, we're not closer to winning a championship without Zach, no. But the proof is in the pudding. All right. Patrick Williams has stepped up. Kobe White has stepped up, although Patrick Williams didn't step up yesterday. Now, I was a little disappointed in that. I was a little disappointed in the lack of Patrick Williams. Here's why. The officials kicked out the Joker. No. He was arguing calls, and he gets kicked out. Now, legally, they have every right to. Okay? They have every right to. He thought he was fouled. He's the league MVP. Right? Defending world champion. Give him some slack. Now, the other thing that I said was there was a lot of people who came out to see the Joker. Okay? A lot. They dubbed it was not Armenian Heritage Night. It was, I can't remember. It was jokingly, but nonetheless, it was a lot of people came out and they kick him out. They kick him out. So you got to understand, the NBA's got to do a good enough job a better job of this. He only comes to Chicago once a year. Okay. First half ended. So he was gone with us in the second half. And I'll talk about Patrick Williams not showing up as well. We're going to talk about that at 10 o'clock with Brad Squires as well. But first of all, stop being so damn sensitive, these officials. Now, if he cursed at you or said something out of, okay, fine. But really, there are a whole bunch of Denver 15 jerseys in the arena yesterday. People pay their good, hard-earned money to come see him. They don't come to see you. If he says something you didn't like, too bad. Deal with it. Or you know what? Tee him up. There's a lot of different ways to handle this. And the thing that bugs me is that a lot of this newer generation, they're so soft. Like, you go up to him and say, hey, listen, I'm going to walk away. I hear it again, you're getting a tech. Period. If he wants to keep complaining, okay, then you tee him up. But don't just kick him out of the game. All right, the NBA, part of the whole thing about the NBA and sports is like you get to see superstars on other teams. And especially when you get guys who aren't in the same division or the same conference. And the amount of times that they come to your home stadium is limited. Come on, man. For real? Like, people were booing. They were mad. And I'd be mad too if I went to go see Joker and got kicked out. This is the league MVP, defending world champion. Like, come on. You paid good, hard-earned money to go see this guy play, and he gets kicked out over because of the way the ref didn't like the way he talked? Come on, man. Grow the hell up. I don't know. No, you got me. Don't piss me off. Next topic, the Bulls. Staying with the Bulls. This was pretty cool. The Bulls have announced their inaugural Ring of Fame. All right. It is wild. So it's not just players. These are the players. All right. These are the players that are in here. So the players in the inaugural Ring of Honor are Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, Michael something or other, forgot his name, Scottie Pippen, Coach, Chet Walker, Artis Gilmore, Dennis Rodman. Okay, I'm cool with it. I don't know about Rodman, the first one, but I'm okay with it. I'm cool. Then they have, these are the players. Okay. Then they have front office and coaching staff. Well, you got PJ, you got Phil Jackson, okay, Jerry Krause, the first head coach, Johnny Red Kerr, Dick Klein, Tex Winter. Okay. I'm cool with that. And then I thought this was really cool. The Ring of Honor is the 95-96 team. This whole team is the 95-96 team is inducted into the Ring of Honor. I think that's pretty cool. Why? Because it was at the time the NBA best 72-10 record. The team that went on to win the championship, still the best team in the history of the NBA, in my opinion. I know Golden State won 73-9, but they didn't win the championship. It don't mean a thing without that ring. It don't mean a thing without that ring. So what's going to happen? They're going to have stuff in the atrium. And then here's a picture of from the Bulls of the total class of everybody that's going in. I thought that was pretty dope. And they're not going to have it every year. I believe it's going to be every other year. So it's not going to be okay. We're adding this. It'll mean something. It'll be a little more exclusive because there's a lot of good people. Don't forget Johnny Bach. You got to put in there. What about Horace Grant? What about John Paxson? What about Steve Kerr? Like these guys, Paxson hit the biggest shot in Chicago in the history of the Chicago Bulls, in my opinion. All right, hit the biggest shot in Chicago Bulls history. It's got to be in there. So interesting. I think it's pretty cool. I do. I just think it's pretty cool that they're finally doing something like that. So they're gonna have some stuff in the atrium. They're gonna have it's gonna be open to the public. It'll be free. Obviously, if you're at a game, you can check it out. I just think that's a great idea. So whoever came up with that, brilliant. Whoever came up with that, hats off to you because that's an awesome move. I'm trying to pull up the article. Trying to pull up the article, and I can't. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it. Of course, I'm not going to be able to find it when I need it right now. Hey, no. Anyway. But I think that's pretty cool. I think you should have, here we go. I think you should have stuff like that. I think all teams should have stuff like that because there's a lot of great players in there. Let's see. Oh, did I forget the class? Did I say Artist Gilmore? Did I put him in there? I don't remember. Oh, I did. Yeah, the A Train. Yeah, so here it says Atrium Experience celebrate the inaugural Ring of Honor class by visiting a special experience in the United Center Atrium. Fans will learn about each member of the class, view never before seen memorabilia, and have a unique opportunity to get up close with Bulls history. Fans with tickets to Bulls games on January 10th or 12th can visit the experience pregame or during the game. There are also visiting hours available to the general public for free. So that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty dope. That's dope. But let's keep it moving. Next top of the morning topic, the Blackhawks. That was a tough one yesterday. Blackhawks fall. Blackhawks fall to the Edmonton Oilers. Battle of the Connors. Conor McGregor. Wrong one. Conor McDavid versus Conor Bedard. This game was on ESPN. It wasn't even on NBC Sports Chicago. They wanted to get the next biggest thing, and that is Conor Bedard against the guy with two previous the next big thing. Austin Matthews is the most recent one, but the guy before him 8 years ago was Conor McGregor. Conor McDavid. And Conor McDavid, and man, this dude is awesome. But the Blackhawks fall to the Edmonton Oilers 4-1. It was on the left coast. It was a late start, finished late. Mrazek, the Blackhawks goalie, stopped 25 of 29 shots. Conor Bedard gets on he lights the lamp early. Assisted by Vlasic, his fifth, and Crevier, his second. But let me tell you something. Conor Bedard is not worried about anybody. Conor Bedard, unlike, how he had Patrick Williams, and I'm always yelling at Patrick Williams, shoot, stop deferring. Conor Bedard does not have an issue, a problem being aggressive in shooting. None at all. None at all. This dude is something. Something else. Can we show this? Trying to think what the 1, 2. Yeah, show it. Watch this goal from Conor Bedard yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Here's Bedard off the stretch. Quick shot, he scores! Over the left shoulder of Stuart Skinner. And Conor Bedard has his 12th of the year. Chicago strikes first. It's 1-0, and one of the men they came to see is on the board.
How fast he can get this puck off. Not only the quickness, the power, but the accuracy. Takes the outlet pass, goes underneath the stick of that goal, who closes quick. So it looks like he has him, pushes him to the backhand, but he brings it backhand to forehand, and it's a lightning fast release. Watch this, forehand back, up over top of the glove to Stuart Skinner. The point from the outlet pass, the defensive zone. Sends in.
Well, that time he didn't need it to be loaded at all. McLeod with control of the puck for Edmonton. A blast by Ceci, a save, Rosic, a rebound.
Man, did you see that? He shot it. He was underneath a defender's stick. This kid is special. So good stuff. I'm fired up. Unfortunately, they lost. Again, we knew that. They're in the middle of a rebuild. They need to add more talent. But this kid is exciting. This kid lives for these moments. And I love it. I love a guy. The moment is not too big for him. He's not overwhelmed. He's not a deer in the headlights. This kid gets it. He's a kid. He's 18 years old. He gets it. Very mature for his age. Extremely mature for his age. And I'm pretty fired up about the direction of that team, especially the next couple of seasons. With the bevy with the bevy of draft picks that they have, this Blackhawks team, watch out. Is all I can say. Watch out. Well, the next top of the morning topic, the Bears. Just real quick, the Bears, they're prepping. Today they're back at work at Hallis Hall as they prepare for their matchup at Cleveland on Sunday. The kickoff is at 12 p.m. Central. The game's on Fox. Let me double check. That game's on Fox 32. That game's at Fox 32. Kickoff is at 12. You can watch it on Fox, or you can listen to it on AM 1000. That is their flagship station. This is a big game for our Bears. It's a very big game. Something I want them to do. I think, would that be crazy? Would it be a little shady? I'm going to ask Lauren Cox at 10:30. We're going to close out the show with him. But and here's real quick. The Cleveland Browns have Joe Flacco as their quarterback. But immediately after the game that they won, they put him on the practice squad. So they put Joe Flacco on the practice squad. They're obviously going to call him up. What if the Bears claim him? Now, if they claim him, he's going to have to be on the game day roster. You can't just take him from practice squad and put him on your practice squad. No. What if the Bears claimed him, brought him up on the 53-man roster for a week, and then let him go? Paid him for the week. I don't know, $300,000, $500,000 for the week. And it's illegal. You can do that. This is not something that is outside the bounds of items that were collectively bargained. Listen, if the Bears do that, I will have the utmost respect. And I have a lot of respect for Ryan Poles. But my respect for him would increase exponentially if he did something gangster like that. Straight up gangster, dude. That would be awesome. My man Bearlissimo checking in from across the pond. Good morning, Papa. How are you? Actually, good afternoon for you over there. Good afternoon. They did nothing against the rules. Wrong, different question. I'm not sure which one you're answering, but yeah. Man, I'm telling you, that would be my respect for Ryan Poles to go shoot through the roof if he did that. That's gangster right there. That's gangster. Oh, man. We'll see. Is it common? Would it be common courtesy? Would it be, would you break doing? I don't know. What would it be? Are you going against a unwritten rule? I don't know. I don't know the unwritten rules of front office and all this. I don't know. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Bob Nightingale. Got some questions about this whole Ohtani thing. Got some questions. Hopefully he can answer them. So don't go anywhere, folks. My man, Bob Nightingale, coming up next. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Ryan Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face. Ugly.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left, and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down, because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Yeah, hello. I'm really not sure if this is what you all do, but I really don't have anywhere else to turn.
Hi. I don't even know why I'm calling right now. I'm sorry. My thoughts are going a mile a minute.
My kids are out of state. My buddies from the army are all gone now. I'm really alone.
I left the service last year. My mom just passed away a few months ago. I miss so much time with her. I keep getting calls about the bills, and I'm trying to get a job, but I feel so stuck.
Okay, ma'am. I'm glad you called.
Okay, sir. Let's stay on the line and walk through some things.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators. A passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds. Help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
It's the details that catch the Bears.
Fields, tough throw, contested attempt, and Cole Kmet beats Alex Anzalone for the catch and first down. And he got the jump. It's a free play. Fields for more. Got him! Touchdown! Bears lead!
The safety come down here, so you know you've got one-on-one with Moore on the bottom of the screen. Justin Fields reads it perfectly. Watch this into the boundary right here. He sees that one-on-one.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those are our Bears, baby, on Sunday. I was in the house, man. I was in the house. It looked good. That place was rocking. What a time. 2 in a row with a chance to run the table and maybe get in the playoffs? Playoffs. Let's not get that far. We'll take it one game at a time. My first guest today is a good friend of the program. Man, we got to talk about this crazy contract. Whew. Let me tell you something. When I heard the contract, they were talking $500 million, 500,000. Like, all right, well, I see. It was nowhere near 500,000. They got the 500 million. They got the $700 million. Man, let's talk to him, man. He's a good friend of the program. He works for USA Today Sports. You can find him on Twitter at @BNightingale. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our guy, Bob Nightingale. Bye. Bob, what's up, buddy? How are you?
Good. Good morning, Shawn.
What the heck I could not believe, dude, $700 million? It shook me to my core. Like, what the hell is going on with all that? And then that was the first part, Bob. And here's the part I want to talk about and why I wanted to bring you on. The deferment. He's making $2 million a year. Talk about the $700 million contract. Because I'm like, at first I was like, there's no athlete worth $700 million. But then I sat back. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Well, how much? If they can pay him $700 million, how much are the Dodgers making?
Yeah, well, really, when you break down the contract, it's really 10 years at $460 million because of all the money deferred. I mean, he's having $68 million a year deferred on that with zero interest. So it's really 10 years at $460. It looks great. It's like, okay, we'll get $1 million ourselves if we get $1 a year for a million years, that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, still a fabulous contract. Remember now, this guy is like no other. It's like a Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. Remember when Jordan was making $1 million, $2 million a year for the Bulls?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't matter because all the money he's making off the field. Same with this guy. So he's able to defer $68 million a year of the 70, because he's going to make about $50 million a year off the field. No one even comes close to that in baseball. Number 2 is Mike Trout at $5 million a year. That's how big this guy is. He pays for himself, and that's what the Dodgers have done. Pretty much they bought the brand.
So he makes about $15 million off the field?
Yes. Yeah, that's how popular he is. And, for the Dodgers, they'll make the Dodgers about $40 million a year just with the advertising and merchandise. They sell all those advertisements, that rotating sign behind home plate, that you see at ballparks. That'll be Japanese advertising.
Right.
Every game will be televised in Japan. So now he makes a team a lot of money.
And that's what I thought. And like I said, I stepped back. I'm like, wait a minute. If they're giving him $700 million, I'm like, the TV deals, like the exclusive, like streaming rights and things like that to Japan, they're going to go through the roof because he's a superstar over there. He's an icon over there. So, they're going to want to, and especially after the word of his contract hits, they're going to want to see him. I mean, they've been watching him since he got to the show. Yeah. So I realized, okay, if they gave him 700, yeah, they got to be making more than 700. So, but talk to me about the way it was structured, because here's the reason why I want to have you on. To have so much money deferred, it's literally he's making less than a utility player, literally. So they could make more, so they're allowed to make more moves and things like that. It's collectively bargained. You can do that, but did they cross any like unwritten rules? They break any unwritten rules?
No, not at all. I mean, it's historic in the nature of how much is deferred, but they're still being taxed at $46 million a year. So it's not like they're being taxed at just $2 million. Okay. It's still at 46. So they save themselves, $24 million a year. Most players will not do this because they want to make more, and they want to make more than $2 million a year. But because you're off the field, it doesn't matter to him. And the one thing too, was a little bit of a stroke of genius on his part, is he's in California. California state tax is highest in the country.
Yep.
We're 13%, goes over 14% on January 1st. So when he's in California, he's only making $2 million a year for next 10 years. As soon as he starts making $68 million a year, you can bet anything he won't be living in California. He'll be living elsewhere and not paying those taxes.
He's one step across the border.
Yeah, and he offered the same package to the Giants. Obviously he's still in San Francisco, state of California. So it was similar packages to a lot of people. But yeah, he wanted to make sure a lot was deferred.
So with that, how likely is it that you're going to see, because that's smart, because you're getting paid for 20 years. He's getting paid for 20 years. And I mean, hell, we all know the Bobby Bonilla deal. Was it June 1st, July 1st? Is Bobby Bonilla Day. And that's, I mean, obviously that had interest in it. But to get paid an extra 10 years, wow. Are we going to start to see more contracts like this? Did he just open Pandora's box?
No, we've seen it. I mean, we've seen Mookie Betts do the same thing with the Dodgers. So did Freddie Freeman, Steven Strasburg, the Nationals. You see guys do it. Usually it's stretched out. And Ken Griffey Jr. is still getting paid by the Cincinnati Reds.
Yep.
About $3 to $5 million a year. The Bonilla contract sticks out, obviously, because the interest rate. That's 8%. A lot of these contracts now have 0% interest.
That is, to me, I don't know about you, but to me, that is just ingenious. Like, you have a certain lifestyle. Like, he was supposed to make, 70 average per year. You don't need $70 million to live. I mean, you know what I mean? You don't need, I understand you might have people and everything. You don't need $70 million a year to live. Why not? And you know who did that actually was in football was Chris Zorich. The Bears owed him $2 million. And then he said for 20 years, just give me $100,000, which again, obviously much smaller, but you're thinking long-term. Yeah. 20 years. To me, that makes a lot of sense fiscally and financially, because man, like you said, once his career is over, he moves out of the state of California, his taxes are going to drop big time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big benefit to the team. Now, a lot of players won't do this, obviously, because they'll say, you know what, I'll just defer the money myself and put it in some kind of with my financial advisor, and he'll make 6 or 8% for me. So that's why a lot of players won't do this, knowing they can make more just by sticking with their own guy. I mean, they can stick in a savings account for that matter. You'll make more than 0%.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So what does that mean for other teams? In particular, the team that I don't really like very much on the north side here. What does it mean for them now? They were long shot. They were in it. Then I heard they were kind of out of one of the first ones out. Then I heard they weren't. And now obviously we know they are definitely out. What does it leave for that? Where does it leave the Cubs now as far as, big time free agents? Because this was one that they were in on. They do have one guy that they brought last year on a prove-it deal, and he sure as hell proved it in Cody Bellinger. Is it all ships a go on for Cody Bellinger?
Yeah, I mean, first on Ohtani, I think he was staying with the Dodgers all along. I don't think he wanted to leave Southern California.
Mm-hmm.
So teams like the Cubs and Texas Rangers and on wanted him. Blue Jays wanted him, but he wasn't leaving. Bellinger be interesting. We'll see. Now that the Giants, signed their Korean all-star center fielder,
mm-hmm.
It takes them out of Bellinger, pretty much. I don't completely rule it out because he could always play first base. I think when the Cubs take, it comes down to them and the Blue Jays. Blue Jays need a star player. They need a left-handed bat. Cubs some. And I think everybody's thinking the same thing. Who is the real Cody Bellinger? Is it the guy who put the big numbers last year? Or is it the guy that struggled so badly the last 2 years in L.A., that they non-tendered him? So, kind of jury is out on which Cody Bellinger you're going to get.
What do you think?
I think in between.
Okay.
We'll see. I don't a great year. Can he keep doing this? I don't know. I mean, he'll say with the injuries, the Dodgers will say, well, he didn't work that hard. The Cubs loved him. Obviously, give me your best behavior and do everything right when you're about to hit the payday. But it's going to be a big check. I mean, right now, looking for about $250 million. He's probably going to get close to 200. Either way, we'll see who wants to pay that.
Yeah, I think everybody knows my stance on the team up north, on the north side of town. I like Cody Bellinger. I really do. And I think that I'm with you I think he's in the middle, but I think he's closer toward that MVP than he was. I mean, he was hurt. I mean, for all intents and purposes, he was hurt. He had a shoulder injury, over in LA, and then it wasn't a knee. Because remember, he was hurt a month here. He was hurt a month here and still put up really, really good numbers. Imagine if he wasn't hurt. You know, I think the Cubs should go after Cody Bellinger. It would hurt me to my core because that sucker is one hell of a ball player. I got to hear my Cub fan friends talking smack to me, but I like Cody Bellinger as a player, and I hope. Unfortunately, I can't believe I'm saying this. I hope the Cubs do get him. I just like this guy as a ball player. He's just like so chill, so relaxed. I don't know. I think he just fits. He fits in perfectly with that vibe up in Wrigleyville. I hope they do right by their fans and go get him.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. And one of the things, you kind of have questions about is the Dodgers don't make too many mistakes. They're as smart as any organization in baseball. I mean, the Cubs gave up on Jason Hayward. He was done. Look at him now. They couldn't wait to bring him back. He's back to being the Jason Hayward, pretty close to what he was when the Cubs gave him all that money. JD Martinez resurrected everything when he came back to LA. You get this guys off the scrap heap and do well. So that's the only thing you wonder, like, okay, if Bellinger continues to do well, it means the Dodgers made a big mistake. Dodgers don't make too many mistakes. So that's what you wonder.
No, they don't. Guys, we're joined by Bob Nightingale from USA Today talking baseball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. So what does that leave my – I'm scared to ask. Where does that leave my White Sox, the good guys? We sold pieces off already. Nobody wants Yoan. We let Tim go. Got rid of Giolito. Where do you think? What is the state of my White Sox? Because I'm very very mad at them, Bob. Very very mad.
Well, they got to they're rebuilding, and they're not a massive rebuild. They're not trading Luis Robert away, but they are trading away Dylan Cease, which is smart. You're not going to win this year with him anyway, or without. Everybody wants this guy. Everybody's starving for pitchers. They'll get a ton in return. I think they're doing the right thing here. I mean, obviously, it didn't work. The rebuild was a disaster. Lasted, just a couple of years, and so you got to break it up, and that's what they're doing. But Cease brings a ton to them. Hey, they tried to trade Tim Anderson. Nobody wanted him. It's not like people are jumping on the market right now to get him either. So, Giolito, you saw what happened when they traded him. I mean, did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Not like people aren't knocking down his doors either to sign him. So instead of just, thinking, okay, we just keep, tacking on and think it's going to work, it didn't work. So you got to try something different. So I think it'll be a mild rebuild. I mean, they're in the right division. Obviously, they're not going to win the division this year, but can they be competitive next year? Sure.
Chris Getz is the new GM. Your thoughts on him? I mean, I was a little, look at the same GM. Look at the new GM, same as the last. If you're going to get a guy, we had one of the worst minor league systems in baseball, and then now he was head of it, and now he's the general manager. Your thoughts on where Chris Getz can take this team?
Yeah, we'll see. You're right. I mean, he was in the organization, but he's making moves that weren't done before. He brought in people from outside to take a look at this, to rebuild things. I mean, minor have not produced guys for the minor leagues like they should have. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Give him a chance here. I think it'd be a lot of pressure too this year on the manager. I think they have to have a decent year where they'll say, you know what, we'll go get somebody else. Not blaming him for their struggles, but obviously they haven't gotten better since his arrival.
Yeah, and that was the one thing, Bob. I just thought that they did wrong by giving a rookie manager an underperforming veteran team. I think that was my biggest issues. Like like this guy didn't have a lot of gravitas. He didn't have a lot of big resume, an impressive resume. Like his first gig, and you got guys who are underperforming. Yoan was underperforming big time. Lubob, was underperforming for the most part until this year. He really had a nice year. Tim Anderson and Eloy. Those guys weren't living up to potential. And I would have liked a veteran manager, a guy with, a little more, I don't want to say respect, but a little more gravitas, a little more, I don't know, something coming in the door, when he talks, people listen type deal, because that's the only way you're going to get underperforming veterans to, I guess, kind of listen. So how long before
that was my complaint, is that Bruce Bochy was sitting right there in Nashville. He was dying to come to Chicago. They would not even interview him. Ron Washington was sitting there could have had him for, nothing, for less than $1 million a year. Probably about close to the same contract that Pedro Grifal's making. Would not interview him. That was my thing. If you want to interview those guys and still don't want to hire them, fine. But they're sitting right there for the taking. And Bruce Bochy just led a team to the World Series.
Man, Bob, that was my thing all season. And I literally just took that picture off about a week ago. I had the picture of him on the airplane with the World Series trophy next to him. And that was my complaint all season, especially after they won it. You didn't even bring this guy in for an interview.
Yeah.
And that's why I heard. That's why I'm mad. That's why one of the reasons I'm still very, very upset with the good guys, man. And I don't know how many games I'm going to this summer. And I'm telling you, it might be maybe my all-time low, and I'm like 2 or 3, maybe opening day. I'm thinking of boycotting the whole thing. It's frustrating with them on the South side. But hey, Bob, great stuff. I appreciate it. Do me a favor though, let everybody know where they can find you online.
Yeah, just on usatoday.com, or usually I'll tweet out my stories at B Nightingale on Twitter or on X.
Wow, it's gonna be a long time before my good guys are relevant again on the South side, man. That's not fun. But at least we still got Louis Robert to kind of cheer on for now.
No, he'll stay. They want to build that team around him. So tell you what, in the AL Central, anything can happen. But yeah, at least a rebuild. He's not like in the AL East and NL West. He can be back in 2025.
Yeah, and Yo-Yo, like he's the biggest enigma for me. Like this kid is so talented. I mean, he was the number one prospect, minor league prospect a couple of years ago, and then he had one good year, and then he can't decide if he wants to be a home run hitter, a power hitter, or go alley to alley. I'm like, your best year was alley to alley, so just do that. And like, why he's so into his head. It's frustrating watching him, and I don't know who has access to these guys, but man, somebody needs to say, hey, listen, here's where you did well. Go shopping gap to gap and just use your speed. You're 24, 26 years old. Run. You know what I mean? It's frustrating, Bob. Sometimes athletes and people and organizations make things very difficult, trying to outthink people and think they're the smartest guy in the room, and they actually do themselves a disservice. And I think this is one of them.
Well, that's why he was traded. He was the X factor. People don't know, how good this guy's going to be. Same with Michael Kopech. It was a big X factor. They're traded for a reason. Obviously, a team that trades them, no one better than anybody else, and they didn't believe in them. And obviously, things haven't changed a whole lot since he got to Chicago.
No. All right, Bob. You have a great holidays coming up, and we will talk soon. All right, buddy.
Sounds great, Shawn. Take care.
Thank you. All righty. Thanks, guys. That's Bob Nightingale from USA Today. He said it, man. My White Sox suck. My White Sox suck. Cubs are going after Bellinger. Oh, man. I don't even know what to say, but great stuff, my man, Bob Nightingale. I appreciate him every time. He's a busy man. Appreciate him taking time coming in to talk with us about that whole thing. And I do wonder, are more people going to defer it? I mean, but he makes a lot of sense because it's no interest. People can say, okay, well, I can put it in savings account and generate some interest. I get it, but it's just, for me, it'd be like the longevity of it. I think that's why, and I didn't realize so many players did that, deferred it. Like I said, because not the only, but one of the people I knew was Chris Zorich, and he talked about. I knew Ken Griffey was still getting paid by the Reds, but yeah, I just wonder if that's going to start a trend, and maybe say, hey, we'll do it for, we'll defer it for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, but this, a 2% interest or 5% interest or whatever. I don't know. Who knows? I'm just wondering if Pandora's box was open, and this is the way moving forward. A lot of people are going to negotiate. We'll find out. But listen, let's take another break. Let's take a quick break. At any other side of the break, we're going to talk about the Bulls, baby. The Bulls. I know we usually talk Bears right now, but we're talking Bulls. The Bulls were on a little bit of a run, a little bit of a heater. They cooled off a little bit when they hit the Milwaukee Bucks a couple days ago, and then now the defending champs. We're going to talk to my man, Brad Squires, on the other side of the break. So don't go anywhere, folks. Buzz himself coming up next right here with Bulls Talk on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
To run for 17, back he goes, here comes Chubb, there goes the ball, touchdown, Mooney! Jones will walk at the left tackle, time for Fields, now he'll accelerate to get the first down, break tackles, and he's off to the races, and we got a terrific block.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering the purpose and the belonging earned with the title. Learning to dig deep and push through adversity together. Defending our nation and its people. It is a life of great worth and reward. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment comes full circle, visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine, marking a path for the next generation.
So I've come up with the family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
This year, my mom got me the perfect bag for back to school.
These colorful binders help me stay organized.
These headphones are just what I need for studying.
These new sneakers are just what I need for the new year.
This jacket is a real must-have.
My parents got me the skateboard I wanted. It's pretty cool.
These scissors really come in handy in art class. These colored pencils, too. These new socks, they can be a real lifesaver. I finally got my own phone to stay in touch with my mom.
The three. The hesitation, the drive, and the scores.
He's just playing with a nice pace right.
Christian Brown already. There's no Sumu. Kicks it. Williams this time from the right. Open.
Bang, bang, bang.
Knocks down the three. Sets the screen for White. On the roll. It's Vucevic. Io, Williams, White. Great ball movement for a DeRozan threat.
Bang, bang, bang. That is classic ball movement.
Drawing away with Musa Dagger on Serbian Heritage Night here at the United Center, no less.
A lot of people can't see him.
Yeah, you heard boos. Here is Vucevic going right back to work. That's what you're going to want to see for the next 24 minutes.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of NBC Sports Chicago. Oh, man. It's crazy. My next guest is good friend of the program. We've been rocking together for a few years, man. And every time I get to talk Sox or Bulls with this guy, I love it. It's part of the On Tap Sports Network, and you can find him on Twitter at BuzzOnTap. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, our guy Brad Squires. Brad, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Hey, man, how are you?
I'm good, dude. I am good. This little crazy trying to get my mom over CrossFit right now.
Oh my! I couldn't handle that. I'd fall over and die. You need to beer me immediately.
No, so I'm in Michigan right now. I met a friend, and so I had to call a car, and so I did this on the last break at 9:30, but she didn't press confirm.
Unreal, Shawn. Unreal being in. But look at you. Look at the dedication being in Michigan. You got the whole drop. You got your Bears gear out. I dig it. I dig it. Looks good, man. Got the chain. You're representing good.
Dude, I am loving this Bears victory chain. Dude, and I wasn't gonna bring it and wear it, and I was like, you know what? No, they won. Wear it. I'm feeling good about them boys right now. I'm feeling pretty good about them. I was feeling pretty good about them Bulls too. Let's talk bullies, baby. Zach LaVine is his foot hurts. It hurts. So it's fine. Stay there. Stay with your sore foot. You shove it up your. Well, sorry, never mind. But they're playing better. I like the ball movement. I like the free flowing nature. Now Billy Donovan looks like a good coach. Now Billy Donovan. Now Karnisovas. I'm not yelling for his head now. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. This is what he's meant. And then you get the original that came to town last night, and like this is what it really is supposed to look like. Talk to me about that game a little bit last night.
Yeah, last night, I mean, even the last couple of games, I know they're on a 2-game losing streak coming off a 4-game winning streak, but the ball movement seems a lot better. The teamwork seems a lot better. It seems like everybody's getting touches. A couple times Stacey King touched on the broadcast last night how they were swinging that ball around, whether it was 3 to 5 people touching the ball within a possession, which is huge. We weren't seeing that a lot before because you were seeing a lot of ISO ball. This is no coincidence with Zach LaVine being out. Listen, Zach LaVine's a very good player, but whatever was going on with him mentally caused him to check out, and that's what we saw. We know he could light up a scoreboard, and he wasn't doing that. He was trying to take minimal shots, and I think that really hurt him at the end of the day, and due to the fact of he does not have much of a market now because of this, and you have a guy like Kobe White that has now stepped up. He's been inserted into kind of that scoring guard role, which a lot of people had him pegged for in the beginning. A lot of people, didn't necessarily think he had what it takes to be a point guard in the NBA to run an offense. And right now, it just looks like he is playing basketball without thinking about it. Over his last 5 games with Zach LaVine being out, or let's see here, last 5 games, Kobe White is averaging 26.8 points, 6.4 boards, 5.8 assists. Now, those are great numbers, but the percentages on that is what's actually really impressive. 54% from the field, 57% from downtown, 90% from the free throw line. Obviously, that might be unsustainable. That's some high-level All-NBA type stuff right there. If it is sustainable, good on Kobe. As far as your statement about not wanting Acme's head anymore, I don't want their head. I didn't really ever want their head. What I wanted them to do was pick a concise lane. And right now, what they're doing and what I've seen with the Bulls fan base just through social media, because that's where we live, right? We live on social media. The Bulls fan base is like fully bought back into this, and it's fool's gold. Bulls gold, right? That's what this is. This is a team that they're going to trot out there that's going to be competitive enough. No matter what trade comes back from Zach LaVine, you're probably not going to get a young, promising talent, and all the picks that people think or assumed we were going to get. It's looking like a deal. They've talked about D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura over there in with the Lakers, and Zach being a potential trade candidate to go over there. We've heard rumblings that Philadelphia was interested in Zach LaVine, and you're not getting Maxey or Embiid back. So, I mean, that's like a Tobias Harris type deal coming back, and we don't really want that. You kind of heard rumblings of Toronto. I don't really think that that's legitimate. I don't understand why they'd ship out one shooting guard. They have a plethora over there in OG Anunoby, Gary Trent Jr. I don't know why they would ship them over here to do a swap. The Bulls are who they have been, and they're going to continue to be this team if they stay this course. And it's going to be 500 ball and lucky to get into the play-in. And if they do somehow get out of the play-in, it'll be a first-round exit. I mean, that's just what this team is right now. They're playing well, but look at the level of competition they played on the 4-game winning streak, and then they run into a team without Jamal Murray and an ejected Nikola Jokic yesterday, and they lost. And it's going to continue to happen that way. They don't have a concisive number one, and all credit to Kobe White too. He's playing great, but he's just not number one.
I agree with you. I think Vooch. I think what happened, and it's funny when I was watching it, and then they talked about, and this is why I love watching the post game. I love Kendall Gill. And he was like, "What happened is they got overconfident. How you get overconfident, I have no idea because your record sucks. But once Joker got kicked out, they felt like, oh, okay, now he's out. It's going to be an easy game. No, Joker didn't win the NBA championship by himself. All right, he had a lot of help.
Oh, yeah.
He was the biggest piece, but he still had a lot of help. And I think that was the issue. And I saw that I'm watching the game. I'm like, you're not doing what I need to do. You're not going down in the Joker. You're not, stop hitting threes. The big guy's out. Go down there and cause problems down there. Pull them out. Pull them out. Do more things, but don't just sit there and hit a three or shoot threes because Joker's out. I mean, it didn't make sense to me what Vucevic was doing. I was annoyed to no end. Talk to me about Patrick Williams. He's been playing very well. And then yesterday he kind of had a bit of a stinker. Where are you on Patrick Williams? Because I'm almost out on that Joker. It's been a couple of years. It's his fourth year now. So he should have the lay of the land. He should have. I mean, he's got the body. He's got the size. He's got the strength. Just the desire. Your thoughts on P. Will, man? Because I'm almost done with dude.
Yeah. So there's footage out there of me and Goose, who, if you're not familiar with, I know you are, but if anybody listening is not familiar with Goose, he does the post-game shows with me over at Bulls on Tap after every Bulls game. We had a 2020 draft party, and as you know, in 2020 it was COVID, so we did the the Zoom party, where we were all watching, where there was listeners of our show and just other Twitter personalities in there, and I didn't like the pick in the beginning. I didn't understand why we spent the fourth pick on a bench player at Florida State. As we've gone on and progressed, year 2, he plays 5 games. He gets injured. He comes back for like the last 13 or so games of that season. So, year 1, growing pains. Year 2, he gets hurt. Year 3, he comes out. You're expecting to see some sort of jump, and it's always been stagnant. This guy struggles to score 10 points a game. Now, as a piece coming in off your bench to do some defending and stuff like that and hit a 3 when he stands at the court, shoots a high percentage from 3. It's only 34% this year, but we've seen a body of work from him where, he's been hitting at a better clip recently. Patrick Williams is just a guy. That's what Patrick Williams is. A lot of people don't like to admit that. I don't know why there's like a portion of the fan base, whoever is drafted, they're going to be great. It's just how it works, right? They drafted him. They must be good. It's not saying he's bad at basketball, but this is the route you need to go with Patrick Williams. If you want to develop this kid, then you need to pick a clear and concise lane on what you want to do. Do you want to remain competitive and get into a play-in? Do you want to remain competitive, try to get into the playoffs? Or do you want to reset this heading into 2024 where you own your draft pick? Do you want to go into 2025 where you have protection on a draft pick that is owed to the San Antonio Spurs and try to get into that draft with, a Cooper Flagg, a Dylan Harper, guys like that are coming out in 2025, and not to mention in 2024. I know Isaiah Collier isn't playing real well right now, but you have a lot of young talent in this draft coming out. Justin Edwards, Stephen Castle. I mean, there's some players that you could plug into play. So the lane needs to be picked on what they want to do. And the guy in me, I guess the journalist, and I put it in quotes because I write everything, like a blog, but the journalist in me is like, okay, well, I understand what they're trying to do. They want to stay competitive because you want to put asses in seats, right? But the fan in me, and being 32 years old now, is remaining competitive means nothing to me. It really doesn't. At the end of the day, it's like, can you compete for a championship? This is the NBA. This isn't baseball. Remaining competitive baseball is different than remaining competitive in basketball. I think you'd say that too. You get in, usually the best player on the court is going to win you that championship. The Bulls are far from that. There's no free agents walking through this door when you're entering a somewhat rebuild. You waited too long on trading DeMar DeRozan, or Zach LaVine should have done it at the last deadline, and then this is where we're at now. So a lane needs to be picked. Mine is the rebuild. They need to get these guys out of here. DeRozan's on an expiring contract. LaVine doesn't want to be here. Ship those two out. Keep Vooch for the next couple of years, and that's not because I'm some sort of Vooch fanatic. He's got a 3-year, $60 million deal. He'd be a good center for a rebuild. Leave him in there, and that's where I think they need to go. So as far as like your initial question with Patrick Williams, dude, I want the kid to be good, but he's a bench player. And that's what it is at the end of the day. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to make it to the NBA. He makes more money than I do. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just saying that this is where we're at. There's not a clear and concise guy on this team right now to build around.
So you're in the lane of full rebuild.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me your thoughts on Billy then. Is he the guy for this? And move him after the rebuild, or what do you want to do with Billy?
Well, this all signs point to, I mean, go back to the beginning of the conversation when you were saying like, oh, Billy Donovan's offense is looking pretty good. And you know how Billy Donovan's defense is too. It could be suffocating with the right personnel.
Mm-hmm.
The front office of Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley have clearly stated throughout this season alone, when Billy's name's been, put into rumors, that they are going to stick with Billy Donovan, that he is under contract. The Reinsdorfs don't really like paying people to make them go away.
Yeah.
I would assume that he would stick around during this. I don't know. That's going to come down to preference. Has he been told that they're going to try to remain competitive and that's why he wants to be there? Or does he just want to be there because he likes the front office and their philosophies on basketball? I don't know. But I mean, I don't mind Billy Donovan. Is he a great coach? I don't know. Is he a bad coach? No, he's not. He's just an in the middle coach that if you have the talent around him, you can make something happen. And we've seen that happen time and time again when you have elite level talent on your team. We just watched Toronto and Nick Nurse part ways how many years removed from a championship.
Yeah.
Mike Malone gets a huge deal. People were questioning him. Mike Malone gets a huge deal after a championship. It's all about the personnel on the team. A coach does matter, but as our boy MJ did say, it's players on the court that are winning the titles.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. Give me your thoughts on Ball, Lonzo Ball. We're missing him. He's been a big piece. It was a big piece. He's been out for damn near 2 seasons now. Do you see any resolution in sight with him?
No, I don't. It's funny. They released that little video. I don't know if you've seen that on social media. I think it was him that released it on his Instagram, I believe it was. And I'm terrible at social media besides Twitter. I don't go on anything. But I saw this video of him saying he's coming back. He's working towards coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Is that contract is tradable because he's going in after this year. I believe that's his player option. Okay, so he can accept his player option and remain with the Bulls going into 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a noble thing to do? It should be, because they paid him a ton of money and he's been hurting and it's not his fault. He got a very serious surgery that replaced cartilage in his knee. It was a big deal. Do I mind him coming back and getting just some run in the last year of his deal if we're on a rebuild trajectory? No, I don't mind at all. Go ahead and get in there, get your reps in, and if you stay, you stay. If you go, you go. I see Lonzo probably coming back to the Bulls and then being moved and then being one of those point guards that go and help out championship level teams, unless he can come back at the level that he was, kind of guy like a Mike Conley, somebody like that, It just goes over to these teams that are budding to compete and being a key level piece for them.
Guys, we're joined by Brad Squires from the On Tap Sportsnet, talking Bulls basketball here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I was enjoying the 4-game win streak, but for some reason, there's something about this team that just, not that I don't want to watch them, there's something missing. Is it and it's not Zach. I know Zach's out, but there's something like, as I'm watching them, like they need something. What do you think this team can use to make them a little more exciting? Maybe a little more, I don't know. There's something that they're missing that I don't know what it is.
Well, look at explosiveness, right? I mean, they made it a point 3 games ago on the broadcast to talk about whether they have like 9 to 10 dunks in that game. And that was kind of like, out of the ordinary for them. Explosiveness misses, an explosive athlete that comes in the game and plays above the rim. The Bulls don't have that. The Bulls don't have a clear sniper from 3-point land besides Kobe White on his run right now. They don't have these things, and I feel like that's missing in a way. When you watch the Bulls play basketball and you watch a team like Sacramento, you watch a team like Denver, you watch a team like Philly. I know I'm talking upper echelon teams here, but they move the ball around consistently. Why is it when we're on the show, you and I are talking happy about that? Because we don't see it. They're ISO heavy.
Yeah.
When DeMar plays within how the offense is running now, it kind of works. But, I mean, look at his percentages too, Shawn. He's shooting 43% from the field. I mean, he's not having a good year at all. Yeah, the 22.7 points, that's what people look at. Look at the percentages, how many shots it's taken him to get there. Yeah. They're just missing the clear number one. And when you miss a clear number one in the NBA today, you miss an identity. And that's been kind of the Bulls' problem, besides that 35 games of excellence where you had Lonzo DeMar, Zach, and Vooch just doing their thing with AC coming off the bench, Kobe coming off the bench, making things happen. They're missing the guy. That's what they're missing. And unfortunately, that guy is unobtainable. No high-level free agents coming here if you're going to be moving people and you're in an unsure direction. No superstar player is going to want to be traded here if you're in an unsure direction. That's what they're missing, direction. They're missing so many different things. Like, I usually laugh it off, but it's just, it becomes so goddamn exhausting watching the same thing every game. And I mean, it's going to fall apart. Yeah, everybody was very excited for the 4-game winning streak, but the opponent was in all of those games. There's only so long that you're going to be able to keep going tit for tat and playing Kobe White 38 to 40 minutes a game without him burning out. And that's what you're really missing with the Bulls. You're missing explosiveness. You're missing a number one guy, and you're missing perimeter. You're still to this day missing a little bit of perimeter shooting.
So, an identity is what they're missing.
It's tough. It's tough because it's like where do you go? And that's why you have you have a partial fan base here screaming like me, rebuild, go into the draft, see if you can get somebody, or hey, call Detroit, see if Jaden Ivey's available, who's riding their bench on a team that's lost 1 million games in a row. Go try to find somebody young, and if you have to forego picks just to get a young player that has potential, go do it. Go do something. Because again, at the end of the day, if people are excited, it's the dangling the carrot that you and I literally talked about on this show about the White Sox. I mean, it's no different because it's the same owner. It's keep them competitive enough to get the buzz going.
Yep.
Get people to sign up and get the asses in the seats. And then just go from there, and whatever happens, happens. And that's the whole thing. They don't want to go the Sox going into this rebuild, dude, they just came out of one. The Bulls are going to go into another one. Now you got 2 Jerry teams at the same time again, within the last 5 years. I want to point that out. That's why On Tap can't go to anything Jerry related, is because I'm out here slandering. And I don't really care, but I mean, it's the facts of it, dude. They're rebuilding again within 5 years of starting a rebuild. That's why it's just so frustrating. You have, I would like to keep Kobe White for sure, right? I think he's a good player. He's on a very, very friendly contract, Shawn, that runs through 2020. He signed that 2022, 2023, 3 years, 2026. So it runs through 2026. But then in the same breath, you have a guy like Alex Caruso, who I'm a huge fan of. I love Caruso. I know you like Caruso too.
Yeah, I do.
This guy is making pennies on the dollar. He's an all defensive player. We're not going to move him. You're not going to try to go get a pick. You're not going to try to go, swindle Golden State out of something when they were rumored to be interested in him. You're not going to try to, get a young player for this guy that can go help a playoff team. It's just, again, I turn a lot of people off with the negativity, and I'm very, very aware of it, but I'm just so done bullshitting. They're just bad. They're bad, and they don't have direction, and this is where we're at. And everybody's going to be very disappointed, Shawn, when this Zach LaVine trade goes through, because it's not going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be.
Yeah, and I imagine the Bulls are going to have to eat a lot of this contract, because that's probably the biggest issue. The biggest is no one wants to take $215 million worth of Zach. Now,
well, not to mention he's got a trade kicker, dude. He's got a trade kicker on that deal. He's going to get paid $5 to $6 million more a year if traded, because he's got a trade kicker in his deal. They paid, and again, at the time, can I blame Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley for paying Zach LaVine? No, I can't, because you didn't trade him.
Right. So you
didn't trade him. You can't risk losing him for nothing. So you pay him, and if it doesn't work out, he could score. But the attitude, the lackadaisical play out on the court, that hurt him. That hurt him bad.
The effort, you can see his body language. Yeah, it's just horrible. Yeah, I've never been a big Zach fan. I think he's a really good player. I think he's a good number 2. Could be a great number 3, but I just didn't see I didn't see his maturity level. That's the issue that I had. His maturity level. I mean, I can say that about a lot of players, but but when Zach, when you're making $215 million, you got to do better. You have to show better, and he hasn't. It's frustrating.
If you're going to pay somebody $250 million, buddy, they have to be able to bring the ball up the court and somewhat try to initiate an offense. I'm sorry, if Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid could do it, there's no reason a 6'6" guard cannot do it. And that's been a problem. You always hear about him is that he's a gym rat. And again, He could put the ball in the hoop, but where are the ball handling skills? Where's the IQ on offensive plays that start to break down instead of forcing a bad shot?
Mm-hmm.
Where's the defensive consistency when your offensive game isn't working?
And that has nothing to do with skill, defense. That has to do with desire. It has nothing to do with skill.
Oh, well, think about it. I mean, you know how athletic he is. You're 100%.
And he's shown us. He's shown us a couple of times.
He did it in Team USA.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make sense. So, like I said, where the Bulls are at, it's a complete. It is. It's a complete dumpster fire. There's no coincidence that not only am I saying this, but national media people have been saying it, from ESPN to Fox Sports to NBA TV. They all say the same thing. They don't know. They don't understand what the Bulls are doing. They don't understand why you're shutting down calls on Caruso. They don't understand why you stayed the course after last year when you could have moved players and really started that tank now. And I know people don't like hearing the tank, but my gosh, there's nothing else you could do here. You have a couple pieces that could probably go on your bench, and you need to completely tear down the starting lineup and rebuild it from scratch, because this is what it is now. 33-year-old DeMar DeRozan, 33-year-old Nikola Vucevic, and a 29-year-old superstar in Zach LaVine who doesn't want to be here.
Well, some good news coming out of off the West Side. They announced their inaugural Ring of Honor. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Give me your thoughts on it. They had a couple of players. It was 8 players that they were in the initial class. Hold on. Jerry Sloan, Rob Love, Michael something or other, Scotty, Tony, a crew coach, Chet Walker, the A-Train, Artis Gilmore, and Dennis Rodman. Those are the players. Your thoughts on one, the Ring of Honor itself, and then 2, the players that were selected in the inaugural class.
I think it is a cool thing to do to honor past players of your team. I think it's convenient, to make the Ring of Honor ceremony during a game to put asses into seats because the team is bad. I am floored, absolutely floored that Kirk Heinrich is not on this list. I'm not happy about it, Shawn. He should be on the list. Captain Kirk should be on the list. Derrick Rose should be. Derrick Rose is an MVP. He's an MVP, Shawn.
I would take Rose over Heinrich, but I could see your point for Heinrich.
Kirk Heinrich is one of the GOATs, right? So this is what it's going to be. Okay. We're not even talking about it. This is what it is, all right? But, I mean, no, it's a cool thing. I mean, I don't know. Did they ever come out with any specifications? Like, are they not going to retire numbers anymore? Or is this just like a thing to honor? I haven't really – I saw it, but I didn't read up on it as much as I possibly should have. But, I mean, I really hope they still, honor, past players' numbers. Like I said, I don't think anybody should wear number 1 again. I know I might be in the minority of that, but I also –
No, I don't think you're in a minority. But you still have – you get new play, and depending on what if you get a superstar, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with not retiring numbers except 23 because there's really no, like, never again, ever. Just put that away. Just you go one. That was literally only 99 numbers, all right? Just
take one of them.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's cool. I like it. I don't know about the if they've made a concrete decision on no more number retiring or anything like that. But I just think it's cool, and I do. I just think it adds to the mystique, because now if you're a Ring of Honor, it's basically the Hall of Fame of the team that you played for, and it's a really cool honor. It shows appreciation, and it just gives athletes another shot, gives them a chance to be carted out, get some applause, I just think it's really cool for guys who've done well by your organization.
Oh yeah, reliving the glory days is always a cool thing. There's no doubt in my mind Rose and Noah will be in there one day. Luol Deng will probably be another one. It is a cool thing. It's just like I said. It's timing. It's just timing, and that's probably why I'm not more excited about it. Is just because of how the team is performing now. And then again, and I know I just sound so negative, and I'm trying not to, but it's just like, yeah, we suck right now, but remember the glory days? Because those were great. Remember those?
They'll pass you by, glory days.
100%,
Hero Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, so I do. So, I mean, it's just, like I said, very cool thing, just horrible timing and execution on it, in my opinion. But I do think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so it's going to be free. So you'll be able to walk into the atrium, which is awesome, and go check it out. And I just think that's cool. And I think that's cool. I wish a lot of, and I think that's what the Bears are trying to do with their new stadium and have a museum type thing. And I think all organizations should have it, and especially if it's free, just come in and walk around, and it helps them too because now you're next to the gift shop, so you're like, okay,
yeah, exactly. I was like, oh my gosh, did you just see that Artis Gilmore in the Ring of Honor? I got to go buy one of his jerseys over there for $99.99.
Yeah, do they have an Artis Gilmore jersey? Yeah, they have some. Oh, okay, great, I'll get one.
Right.
Yeah. You're not too slick, Jerry Reinsdorf.
No, he's not slick at all anymore.
Slick,
he's just kind of blatantly showing it at this point. Blatantly showing it at this point.
Oh, dude, that's crazy. Hey, did you you see they got the lights at Sox Park now?
Yeah, don't you have to pay to go do it?
It's $25 Monday through Wednesday.
Okay.
And Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday it's $40. And then after the 20th, it's $40 every day.
Yeah,
so,
see, I'm a baller on a budget. Jerry took enough for me. I'm good.
I'm still angry with my wife. I just had Bob Nightingale on right before you, and I'm still angry with him. Like I'm probably gonna boycott. I would love, dude, to boycott opening weekend. I would have like 1,000 people in the stands total. Shit, maybe even less than 1,000. That'd be dope. I mean, it's not gonna hurt him in the pocketbook. All right, they got the TV deal. You're not gonna hurt him in the pocketbooks, but it's the embarrassment.
Oh no, you're not wrong at all. I mean, this is going to be the first year I don't think I go to opening day, and I'm just being honest with it. You give so much time and effort, and especially with what you and I do, of where you've built Sports Zone Chicago into talking about these teams, and you really have to be invested into it when you do something like this. I mean, we're all on a smaller scale, obviously, than the national stuff. You got to locally get to us or whatever, but it just becomes so exhausting after a while just to keep covering the same thing. And it goes back to the rebuild things I was talking about before.
And if it's the same bullshit, you're like,
right. It's just the same shit. And the common denominator is it's a Jerry Reinsdorf owned team.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's really tough right now to be a Sox and a Bulls fan. And the direction they're both going is just unbeknownst to me. I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know why they're doing half the things that they're doing. We're shopping our best pitcher because we want to start rebuilding, even though he's under control for a little bit more because we don't want to pay him. God forbid you give somebody $100 million while you just had Ohtani signed for $700 million. Sean, I will not see $700 million in my life. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, no, if there's somebody out there and want to invest in me, invest that in me. Give me $700 million, man. I mean, my goodness. And we can't. The highest paid contract for the White Sox is Benintendi.
Yeah.
Andrew Benintendi, Sean.
His contract is 1 year of show. It's a little more than 1 year of Shohei Ohtani's average.
You know how wild that is? Dude, it's all broken. If you like I said, you're not going to win in baseball if you don't go to the big boy table, or if you're not like Tampa and know how to freaking really get these guys up from the farm system. You
draft and develop, yeah.
Yeah, the Sox, their development system's messed up. Please miss me with Project Birmingham. Sick and tired of hearing about Project Birmingham. We're trading everybody away, but don't worry. We'll have some top prospects in the top 100, at least 6 of them. And don't worry, man, 2026, we're coming. 2027.
And you can't ask us about them because we don't have Sox Fest, so you can't ask us about them.
No, you can't ask any questions.
You got to trust us.
I wonder if we Google Rick Hahn, if we can find his information now on like People Finder. Maybe give him a call, see if he's got any inside information. Who knows?
Dude, that'd be awesome. Hey, Brad, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
You can find me over at ontapsportsnet.com. Any Chicago sports that you might frequent is covered over there. You can see me on Bulls on Tap after every single Bulls game. Me and Goose are doing post-game shows still to this day. We did miss last night because we did Monday night, so we didn't do last night. It was the same result. So, but we'll be back Friday night on Bulls on Tap right after the game concludes.
Great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right, man. We'll see you, Sean.
Holidays. All right, buddy.
You too, brother.
All right, now. Guys, this is Brad Squires from the On Tap Sports Net talking Bulls basketball, and it is the same shit, different day, different year. All right. Same 2 teams owned by one owner. Same problems, both. What are you going to do? You know what we're going to do? We're going to talk some good. Well, actually, very controversial. Probably the most controversial and talked about team now in the city, my Bears. We're going to take a really quick break, and on the other side of the break, my man Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast is going to join me and talk I want to see what he's thinking about Fields. Do you want to trade that number 1 pick? It's almost a given that we're getting that number 1 pick. It's pretty close. Or does he believe in Fields? Or does he want more around him? I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to ask him. So keep it locked right here, guys. Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast coming up next. Right here, Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Off the fake. Fields against the grain. Finds Jesse James. Field. With time. Delivers down to the field. And Cowboys. Still running. Fake one way. Fields stumbling. Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown.
911, operator 901. Where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Lions are going to bring an extra man. Fields climbing the pocket. And there's that athleticism from Justin Fields into Detroit territory. He pops up into Kirby Joseph. They make sure they're all right. Justin Fields have been great. It's been later in the game that they have tried to figure it out. Nice run by Foreman. He's got the first down and he lunges towards the 30. 13-yard pickup for Deontay Foreman. He's going to line up wide. DJ Moore has only run the ball one time this year. He's going to fake it to Fields and run it for a second time this year, and he's into the end zone. His first career rushing touchdown in the NFL.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Those were our Bears, baby. Our Bears on Sunday on the lakefront. Got everybody fired up. Good win over the division-leading Detroit Lions. I'm sorry. Pardon me. Freudian slip. A lot of questions. A lot of questions were answered, but a lot more questions have arisen because of that. So my next guest is a good friend of the program. He's been rocking with us for a few years now, and I want to hear his take, which is why I reached out to him. He's part of the Lockdown. He's the host of the Locked On Bears podcast. You can find him on Twitter at Cox Sports One, like Fox Sports One, but with a C. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. Our guy, Lauren Cox. Lauren, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. No problem at all. Good. I just love talking, love talking Bears. Definitely want to have you on and get your thoughts on the current state of affairs with this organization. Big win. You see, I'm rocking a victory chain, baby. I love it, man. So I actually brought it to the game. So I'm not going to wear it in the press box. They'll be like, get out of here. They might throw me out of my ass if I wore this in there. But anyway, I left it in the car. And so I drove home. I drove to my buddy's bar after I had a drink because I was stuffed. I forgot they feed you after because everyone got to get stories in. So they have food after the game in the press box as well. So I had some Connie's pizza and I'm like, okay, great. So I'm like, no food at my buddy's bar. I'm just going to go have one drink. But I drove to my buddy's bar with this on and I just love it. Just had it on and because I'm fired up. I'm excited about it. Give me your thoughts about this game. Division leading Detroit Lions look like the Bears wanted to snatch defeat from victory yet again against this team. But Montez Sweat said, no, not this time around.
It's amazing what back-to-back wins for the first time in years can do for the feeling around this team, right? Like we're We're like 3 weeks ago packing it all in, looking at next head coaches and trying to see if both of these draft picks can get into the top 5, into the top 3. And 2 wins later with a bye week in between, can we make it into the playoffs? Can we find a way to sneak in as that 7th seed? Like, everything has flipped on its head. And I think it's not just because they won 2 games, but it's because they won 2 divisional games, and particularly won a game against the first place team in the division that you felt like you could have beaten 3 or 4 weeks earlier, 2 or 3 weeks before then, that you could have had 2 wins over the first place team in the division, a 9-win team that's likely going to make the playoffs. All of a sudden, you feel like you can compete with everybody. And you look at like the rest of this Bears schedule. Certainly the Browns this week are going to be a tough opponent, but then, Cardinals are really a bad team. The Buccaneers don't seem like they're any better than the Bears, and the Green Bay Packers are a roller coaster right now. Like, it's not that hard to talk yourself into maybe winning out and maybe finding a way in the playoffs, but yet 2 weeks ago that would have been inconceivable. There's no way the Bears can win the games they're supposed to under Matty Eberflus, but maybe turning a corner, maybe, I don't know. I'm afraid things are going to come back to reality this week.
And I said that before during the bye, I'm like, they can win out. I'm like, they literally can win out. And I looked at them like, and I'm not saying that Cleveland's an easy game by any stretch, but Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback. And then they got Joe Flacco. Let me ask you this question. How gangster would it be? Because didn't they just put him on the practice squad?
Temporarily, yes. But when a player's on the practice squad, the team always has the right to match a contract if somebody tries to sign him off. And so, could you sign a poison pill contract, sign Joe Flacco to a $15 million contract that maybe the Browns couldn't afford? Like, that'd be the play.
Yeah, $15 million, $17 million contract. You prorate it, you pay him $1 million. Here you go, Papa, $1 million. He'd have to be on our active roster, but okay, no big deal. You get a nice little jersey. It'll be nice and clean. You can add that to your collection, put it up in your wall in your trophy room, and now Cleveland's screwed. That would be my respect for Ryan Poles would increase exponentially if he did something gangster like that.
I think the harder sell would be to the McCaskies to justify however many millions, like how many millions of dollars is one win worth, right? Is it worth $10 million? Is it worth 15? Is it worth $20 million to maybe set yourself up to win one game when you still got 3 more hurdles along the way? Like, if it's week 18 and this is when you're in, maybe it's an easier sell. But when it's week 14 or week 15 and it's like, you got to get through this one and 3 more before you even have a chance at the playoffs, that the pocketbooks become a little tight at that point.
Talk to me about, speaking of quarterbacks, my man. He's the low hanging fruit, but it's also the 800-pound gorilla in the room is Justin Fields. Your thoughts on his play? He had 223 in the air, with another 50, 60 on the ground. Your thoughts on his play to this point since he's been back from a couple games before injury, and then since he's been back from injury?
Yeah, we've clearly seen him elevate the level of play, and like, it's largely just like the level of consistency, right? Because we've seen over the course of the last couple seasons, he's capable of doing all of this stuff that we're seeing now. It's just a matter of like how often he does it, how often he gets to it, and how well they're able to support him in that process. Like, we're seeing him now. Like, we've always been able to see him go through progressions and find open receivers. It's just like there's so many of those plays early on in his Bears career, and even early this season, where he's going through it and not pulling the trigger, or someone's not open and there's just nothing there for him, and he gets sacked or has to scramble or whatever. And now we're seeing at such a higher rate of consistency his ability to operate the offense and really execute it from the pocket, right? I think we knew that he was able to operate it, but like, to be able to actually stay in there and consistently deliver these throws because guys are open, because the reads are on time, because the pass protection holds up, like, all of a sudden, like, it looks like what this was supposed to look like from the start. It's definitely clear improvement from him. At the same time, I still see areas that he does need to keep getting better. And the math on Justin Fields is not like, does he look like a starting quarterback? It's, does he look better than what I think I could get with the number 1 overall pick, which is a different bar and a different question.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what? And that's the $100 million, $200 million question. I personally, I don't think moving from him would be the smart idea. I understand the financial aspect of it, but again, it's a lottery ticket. All right. And people are talking about Caleb Williams, the things that I've seen from him. I think he's going to struggle. I don't know if he's going to be the leader Justin is. To me, mentally, there's some things that I saw, and people were talking about he's the best since Andrew Luck. Yeah, I don't, in their opinion. Okay, cool. In my opinion, no, he's not. I think he's a great player. I'm not disrespecting him by any stretch. But I think what Justin has here, and this is what people don't understand. This is why I really anxious to see what Ryan Poles is, because he's a player. Justin is the leader of this team, not the offense, not the defense. This team. He is the leader of this franchise. If you take him away, take him out, I think you'll decimate that locker room.
Is that easier to transition if you're changing head coach too, though? If you're already got to reinstall a new leadership of a head coach, which is not a guarantee at this point, given how well they're playing. But if to me, it's easier to make one big sweeping change of head coach, coaching staff, quarterback. All right, everyone's got to adjust and get used to a new leadership structure there. Whereas, if these last handful of games are enough for Matt Eberflus to keep his job for another season, all of a sudden, is that transition more difficult then, because everyone's kind of buying in and believing in, okay, it's hey, we all worked really hard and won all these games at the end of the year. We're on the right direction. And then it would feel more like the rug being swept out from under you. If it's okay, we thought we were doing great. And then you take our quarterback away, the guy we believe in. I think there's something to that, but that's so easily mended if the rookie quarterback is good. If he comes in, it's oh, wow, this guy's really good and a good leader and all those things. But it's hard for a rookie quarterback to do any of those things. And it's hard to know for sure that what you get out of that rookie quarterback is going to be better than Justin Fields or not. And to me, this is the most fascinating decision in the NFL this offseason. I don't think anyone has a more interesting dynamic here to decide between Fields and a rookie quarterback. Other teams need rookie quarterbacks and other teams have quarterback decisions, but not quarterbacks as intriguing as Fields and not draft picks as high as the number 1 overall pick.
I think it's all said. I think it's already settled. I think they're keeping him, and here's why. I think they're keeping Eberflus too. Here's my thought. You don't think there had to be a conversation between Poles and Eberflus saying, look, I'm going to gut, here's the plan. I'm going to gut this defense for pieces. I'm going to scrap it for parts. You're a defensive guy. It is going to pain you to your soul. This is how you got this job, because of your ability to call defenses. This is your livelihood. But I'm going to take this defense, literally have nothing but 4 walls and some studs left, and then rebuild it. Don't you think there's some leeway here for Eberflus? Don't you think you say, hey, listen, I'm gonna deal with it in this year, in 23 and 22. In 23, you got to do a little better, but I'll take all the bullets for you for allowing me to do that. And then 25, when we build this team, then I can truly evaluate how good of a head coach you are, because I'm not sure about 24. And then we don't even know if Justin gets hurt, and if he does, obviously that factors into it. I think that conversation had to have been discussed, and then Justin did get hurt, but you're still able to win. I think Poles say, hey, listen, you got me on this. It's going to be tough for you. I get you through the 23 season, and then the 24 season is when we're really going to be able to evaluate you. And that's why I think Eberflus stays. That's why I think Justin stays. And truth be told, Lauren, you don't need to make a decision on Justin right now anyway. You could pick up his 5th-year option, so you got him for year 4, year 5. If you want to franchise him, cool. But there's quarterbacks coming out next year. Are you? And there's some people who agree, who will go to the philosophy. Well, you don't need a superstar quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Maybe we have. What if we have really good players, 1st and 2nd rounders, littered throughout this team? Maybe 16 out of the freaking 22 starters are 1st and 2nd rounders. We can win with a good quarterback, not necessarily a superstar.
The hard part with that last part is that eventually, you're right, you got 2 more years of Fields at an affordable rate, and then after 2025, and I know it's starting to get really far ahead, but you're talking a Daniel Jones $40 million a year contract type discussion about Fields. If he's good enough throughout that process, that's the kind of money he's going to be looking at. And then it becomes hard to retain all those young players you've built.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because everyone's under contract, so you know exactly how much you have to budget, because their first rounders are 4+ a year, a fifth year, second rounders are 4. So now you're literally budgeting out how much cap space you have every year, especially if they're first and second rounders. If they're lower, hey, that's even better. But first and second rounders, you got to budget for what you have to pay them, and now you have now you got to get the money wizard, the math wizards in there to see if you can make it work.
So that's true for the players that'll come like now and into the future, but guys like Kevin Jenkins, Jaquan Brisker, Kyler Gordon, other guys that are like on the rookie contracts now, once you get Fields, by the time you get to Fields at a big contract, those guys will be coming up on their rookie contracts, so you got to replace them or try and sign them, and it's hard to, when you've got Montez Sweat making $20 million a year and DJ Moore making $20 million a year, Justin Fields at $40 million a year, Cole Kmet at $12 million a year, like eventually, like you try and always replace them with draft picks, and certainly like there's a strategy there. But it's hard to do. We're seeing the Kansas City Chiefs struggle with that right now. Like they've tried to replace those guys, and they've got a GM that everyone loves and has done a lot of great things and won Super Bowls for them. But like even with Patrick Mahomes, it's hard to keep retooling when you got a lot of money invested in the quarterback spot, and it's hard to nail all those draft picks all the time and have them all pan out to be everything you need around your quarterback. And when the money becomes a little bit tighter at that point, it becomes a little bit tighter. But I think that's a lot farther down the line than Ryan Poles is even thinking at this point. Like I think it's a much more binary, like, is Justin Fields really everything we need him to be and better than the rookie quarterback that we could get? Or do I truly love one of these quarterbacks? I think we're going to hear Ryan Poles say the same thing this offseason that he said last offseason, where it's like, we're going to do our due diligence on these quarterbacks and then make a decision on Fields. And it's exactly what he said last year, and I think he was legitimate about it, and I think he's going to be legitimate about it this year. We'll do our due diligence on these rookie quarterbacks, then make our decision on Fields, and it'll be a matter of time for when he decides what that is.
Guys, we're joined by Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Well, I guess we'll agree to disagree. I truly believe that conversation had been had, and I just think that if you get a whole bunch of really first and second rounders, I think of the haul we're going to get. But I digress. Well,
let me jump off on that, because I agree with you in that sense, where it's like, I think everyone is painting this as like, now is the only year that you're ever going to be able to replace Justin Fields because you got the number one.
Exactly. Preach.
But if you say you trade down for number one pick this year, you're going to get at least one future first round pick for next year and probably the year after that. Very similar to what
you have 25, you have 2 firsts, 26, you might have 2 firsts.
So you might not have the number one overall pick gifted to you in any of those years, but you're going to have multiple first round picks in additional future drafts, to where, okay, you roll with Justin Fields again next season and things go poorly for whatever reason. You're not, crap, we can't get another quarterback, we're stuck in quarterback purgatory. Like, you can still get another quarterback. Then maybe you don't like the 2025 class as much as the 2024 class or whatever. Like, I'm not the one scouting junior and sophomore quarterbacks out in the future. I can't
Sixth graders right now.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't have to be the only time. Like, I get that, like, this is the only time you might have the number one overall pick quarterback, but like we've seen last year and in recent years, like, the first quarterback taken isn't always the best one. And I'm kind of with you on Caleb Williams, where I haven't even dove deep into the film. I've watched him play live, and I've got questions. Like, I don't see Trevor Lawrence, Andrew Luck, like, bona fide number one guy. There's a lot to like about Drake May, who might not even be the first quarterback taken this year. So to me, like, the number one overall pick is very valuable for a lot of reasons, but it's not like the only way to get a young quarterback that you like, if eventually you do decide to move on from Fields.
Yeah, I'm more than that's why I say you pick up his 5th-year option, because now you have year 4 and 5. And if you don't like what he does next year, well, then you can trade him again. Now you know exactly teams who were trading for him. Now you know exactly what he's going to cost. You don't have to, and then you want to work out an extension, whatever. Cool. But once you know what the cost of doing business is, now you can make decisions based off of that, because we understand how important the financials in the NFL, in sports, but especially in the NFL with a salary cap, how important they are. So if you pick up his 5th and you don't like what he does next year, well, then, okay, well, here's a team that's really looking forward to for a quarterback. You got him under control for 20-something million, boom, which is still not overly crazy for a starting quarterback with his skill set. Okay, here you go. I think you don't have to make a decision. That's why I say pick up his 5th-year option, so you know what you got. Other teams know what they got, and it makes more sense for us, and for them, because again, everything's on the table. Oh, I got $20 million. If I cut this guy, I can get Justin Fields, and then we'll work on an extension. I agree with you though. This is not. It doesn't have to be made today, or even this year.
What do you think about an alternative idea of drafting a quarterback and keeping Fields and making it a competition, and saying, all right, between Fields and Caleb Williams or Fields and Drake May, winner starts, loser gets traded. And maybe you sit the rookie for a little while and see how Fields does for the season. And then if Fields keeps playing well, trade whoever you drafted, because you're going to get you're still going to get 1st-round picks and stuff for the quarterback that everybody wanted. Or, if the rookie starts winning out, you could trade Fields and still get pretty good trade value for him. And you give yourself two options that between these two guys, either Fields will be good or this rookie will be good. And odds are that one of them has to work out. So make sure that you've got a quarterback, and you're still going to get pretty good trade value, whichever one you decide not to roll with.
I like it for next year. Because if you do that, what happens is you get a late 1st or even a 2nd, and second round quarterbacks turn out to be pretty darn good as well. The haul that we're going to get for this number 1 pick is something I don't want to give up. And I think if he sits a year, you'll get a slew of picks. I don't think you'll still get the haul that you'll get.
Agreed.
And so next year, draft a quarterback in the 2nd round. Say, all right, Justin, especially if you picked up his 5th-year option. Now you got a quarterback. Now let's compete. Now let's compete, Justin, because you know what you're getting this year, and we can trade you next year. Everybody knows, but this quarterback, he's on a rookie deal. We got him for 5. Next year, I have no problem with that at all. That's a great, yes, I have no problem with that at all. And if Justin wins out, cool, we give you the money, perfect. If the other guy wins out, cool, we trade Justin, we get more picks. Next year's when I'd want that trigger pulled. Not this year, because there's too much of a haul in that number 1 overall pick. Like even one player, one pick, one extra, 2nd round pick in 25 or 20. I want it all. And the next, there's gonna be good quarterbacks coming out next year. There's gonna be good quarterbacks. The kid out of Georgia. I forgot who. There's one more that I was looking at earlier. But yeah, there'll be more, and you can get solid 2nd round picks. And these quarterbacks can, especially when they step into this defense, especially when they step into this offense. Because man, what if you get Cedric Van Pran? And now literally that offense, or what if you go get Olu? Lord have mercy. So you got a stud offensive line. You got a stud receiver, still got 2 years left on his deal, and DJ Moore. You probably get a stud wide receiver again. Dude, you don't have to be a 1st round, next Peyton Manning type to be a winner at this spot. So I think next year, I like your thought, and I actually thought about that and forgot about it. But next year, if you do that, and it puts a little pressure on Justin, it lights a fire under his ass. It's like, okay, well, we got your replacement. Do we ship him off, or do we ship you off? One of you's got to leave after this season or after 2 seasons. You let us know, Justin. You let us know.
And that's such a great point that I think people overlook. Like when you build around Justin Fields, right? If you don't take the quarterback number 1 and you trade down and you get the haul and you keep bolstering, like you were saying, like the offensive line, the weapons, the defense, like it creates a great scenario so that if for whatever reason Justin Fields doesn't work out on the line, you've got a perfect landing spot for a rookie. And like, how many times have we seen in recent Bears history, maybe all of Bears history, team draft rookie quarterbacks, like draft that rookie into a bad spot? Fields comes in to kind of a mess at the end of the Nagy era. Mitch Trubisky came into a mess at the end of the John Fox era. Like, yeah, he got a better year 2 supporting cast, but like every time the Bears have especially drafted a high rookie quarterback, they never seem to come in to a nice, easy landing spot. It's always like, rookie's kind of thrown in there and he's got to figure this crap out, and starts off in kind of a rough start and then never really fully recovers or gets on track. Like to be able to create this team around Fields, it means it's a perfect team around any quarterback that you might end up putting in there in the future. So you can kind of ride this Fields thing out for everything you want to see it, like until you're 100% sure, yes or no. Like we're 100% certain we're just not seeing it, or we for sure have seen it, and this is our guy. And if it's not their guy, then you've got perhaps the best spot for any rookie quarterback to go land in, especially if you end up trading up to get one. It's not like usually when a team's drafting a quarterback early, it's because they're bad and they don't have the support for them. But the Bears would be in a spot where they would have that support no matter where they're taking that quarterback.
So this just came across the wire. Yannick Ngakoue out for the year, broke his ankle. Fudge.
Watching him walk to the locker at Soldier, I was at the game and just in the stands at Soldier Field. When I watched him walk to the locker room, it didn't seem like. I mean, obviously those guys are really tough and can just walk through an ankle injury and not have anything terrible, but it didn't look that bad. I'm surprised it's that big of a deal, but I suppose the rest of the season is only 4 weeks, and a high ankle sprain can be a 5-week injury. So maybe, something like that is just where we are in the season. That's tough.
Yeah, no, he broke his ankle. He broke it. Broke
Yeah.
it. So, hey, Lauren, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Man, that was a great question about the great point about not having to do it this year. I loved it. Do me a favor, though. Let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for having me on. As always, it's a lot of fun. You can follow me on Twitter or X at CoxSports1, and you can find me 5 days a week on the Locked On Bears podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dude, great stuff, man. Bear down. I want them to win out. If they don't win out, I need them to lose to Arizona. I want Arizona out. It helps with my draft order. Having Washington jump up. We slide to 3. We get a haul from Washington. Get one of their players. We draft Marvin Harrison Jr. Now we're cooking with gas.
Oh, boy.
Man. Or if we went out, I guess I'll live with it.
Yeah, make the playoffs and have the number 1 overall pick. Yeah, that would suck, huh?
Hey, great stuff, buddy. Hey, you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays for you. So probably talk afterwards, all right? I appreciate the time.
Thanks. You too.
All right, now. Guys, that was Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast. Love talking Bears football with him. Man, so we're out. Yannick Ngakoue out. Well, listen, 2 hours is coming and gone. Unbelievable. I want to thank my guests. Oh, man, we had a slew of them. We had Bob Nightingale from USA Today coming on talking baseball. We had Brad Squires from the On Tap Sportsnet coming on talking Bulls. And we just got done with Lauren Cox from the Locked On Bears podcast talking Bears football. Great stuff, man. I love it. And you guys in the chat, you guys were jumping, boy. Jumping. Shorty. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yannick Ngakoue. Yep. Shorty, Mr. AC Adam was back in the house today, man. That's what I'm talking about. Barlissimo, my man, was checking in from across the pond. Brandon Schutz was in the house. Brian Hendren's in the house. My man Junior, Patty, Levette, all you guys. Chris, saw you guys in there. I appreciate the love, the support. Yeah, the Yannick Ngakoue thing hurts. That one hurts. That one hurts. Great show. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. I appreciate you tuning in, boss. I appreciate you tuning in. But guys, we'll see you on Friday. All right. Same bad time, same bad channel, 9 a.m. to 11 Central Standard Time. Hey guys, listen, make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. I make sure they know. Send them a text, give them a call. You'd be surprised how much a text message would mean to somebody. Just a text. Hey, just thinking about you. Just hope you're doing well. I love you. Talk later. Click. Send. It can make someone's day. All right. It can make someone's day. Do that. And whenever you have the choice, be kind. Be kind to people. All right, man. I am out. I'm fired up. I'll see you guys on Friday. All right. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, executive producer Elliot Baez, my social media guy Clarence Council, my co-host in absentia Maya, I'm your boy the SuperBack Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Wednesday, a wonderful Thursday. All right. And guess what? I will see you on Friday. Oh, and this will be replayed at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. tonight, Central. I'm out.